have a treat for all of us.
Okay.
I think we deserve one.
Yeah, I think so too. Yesterday morning, I was alerted that there was someone on the internet talking shit about yours truly. And I went, what?
Why?
So I clicked the link, and there it was.
You know, it's no different than, a police officer running to the scene of a crime or a firefighter running into a burning building. It's what I do.
That's right. Tom Myers is now streaming on his channel. He did it yesterday. He did it again today. And he's decided to take on our format. He's going to go on. He's going to play clips. He's going to respond to them. And we did a recent episode with Top Lobster where we reviewed the first episode of his new season, Tom Myers versus the rest of the world. And Tom can't wait to get on there and show us that we're the idiots. But first, it starts off with a man who has zero confidence and nobody watching his show.
How do I sound? Good? How do I sound here?
Who are you asking, Tom? Look at him darting his eyes around. Oh, guys, do I sound okay?
Couldn't afford to pay for StreamYard, too.
Yep.
It's one of the drawbacks of not having a stream that a shit ton of people listen to. You want to know how you're doing? How's this? Good?
Much
Sound
better.
check.
There's still no one there watching, Tom. There's still no one who's going to respond. He goes, I'd love for you guys to give me some feedback on how this is sounding, but there's nobody here. So that's going to make it difficult.
Probably sounds like shit, but how do I look?
Amazing, Tom.
He also keeps asking like he's actually doing something about it. He's like, how do I sound now? He's like, you're not doing anything.
Yeah. What if I got this close to the microphone? What if I got this close to the microphone? Yeah, it's about the same. Okay, good. Good to know. Now, Tom started out his show, and he started a little later than he was expecting to go on. I'm sure people were pretty upset with him about it.
Just doing a little Monday morning check-in. I might be on here for long. I might not. I do apologize for the late start.
You should apologize.
I do know I said 8:15 for my start time.
Okay.
Oh, everybody's happy to see me. I love this.
Oh, someone's there.
Yep.
But
Finally.
then I gave you this nice little banner right here. And you can't blame the coffee maker entirely because part of the blame lies with the
toaster
idiot owner operator of said coffee maker. So that
He can't even make coffee.
No one's worried about it. No one's concerned that you're late. No one's expecting you to be on. This is still going, by the way. That's how bad
Yeah,
this
I
is.
noticed.
that is also to blame.
So Tom comes on with no game plan.
Nothing.
But this is the problem with everyone who circles MLC. All of these people have learned from Kevin Brennan, don't even bother putting a show together. Waste of time. Just get on and let the super chats pour in. That's all you got to do is just stare at the screen and wait to start reading some super chats. So Tom is as lazy as they come. He talks about his boring weekend. He nothing prepared for this. He starts off, he's like, yeah, so I went to go see a comedy show, and then I went visited some people on Saturday. Yesterday I was working on my podcast a little bit. So I thought today maybe I'd hop on here, talk to you guys. And then finally, we're, about 7 or 8 minutes in, he gets to the thing he wants to get to.
So I have had a fairly uneventful weekend, but there's some folks who talked about me, apparently.
Apparently.
So watch this. Tom is not afraid of dead air. This is very Stuttering John-esque. He's looking for the video of who are these podcasts talking about.
See if I can pull this up.
He does not have it ready. He's not prepared at all. So now we're just watching a guy try to figure out how to find a video
Talk amongst yourselves, everybody.
on YouTube.
And there's not that many of you in here, so it shouldn't be too difficult.
Oh, yeah, it's great that you're doing a terrible show. There's nobody here watching. And it'll never grow because you're doing a terrible show.
I mean, he could make it the smallest bit of effort and say literally anything right here.
Nope. This is a guy who claims to be a radio veteran. You go listen to his albums.
So, of course, our good friends over at Who Are These Podcasts.
Hey, you said it.
Okay, so he finally starts to talk about what he's talking about. This is a guy who, if you listen to his specials, he has radio bits in along with his stand-up. He's very proud of his time, I think, in college radio. But it's hard to be this bad at this, even if you were brand new. This is the first time you're streaming. To be this unprepared and just sit there and be like, I think I want to show a thing or something.
Especially when he had an idea of what he wanted to talk about.
Right.
Like, he knew this is what he was going to do.
Yeah, so he still hasn't found the video, by the way, but now he's going to start introducing what he doesn't like about us.
Here we go. So the first thing, I'm being analyzed by a guy who calls himself Top Lobster. I looked for him on social media.
Yeah.
And I tried finding him.
Okay.
And actually, let me see what we've got here.
Yeah, let's look for that thing.
My channel's not going to get struck if I show news content, is it? Oh, no. I don't really give a rat's. Oh, yeah, let's not. Okay.
I mean, no one's watching to report it anyway.
Yeah, you're fine, Tom.
All right, never mind. Yeah, I'm in a different browser window, so fuck it. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. So I'll just go ahead and I'll just go ahead and play this first clip right here.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It sounds good. He starts out by saying, and this guy, Top Lobster, I tried to look him up. Dude, if you search for Top Lobster on any social media, it's the only thing that comes up. Yep. It's a very unique name that he has. Mm-hmm. And he's got a website, and he sells merchandise. He's the host of multiple podcasts.
He's very active.
He knows what he's doing. Unlike Tom Myers, has no idea what he's doing. He's got a .us website. He's a fucking idiot. So Tom is sitting there trying to make fun of Top Lobster, but he's got nothing for that. So he does start to play clips. He mentioned, by the way, he took no notes, which is a great idea. Just come on and hope that things come together. Don't be prepared with anything. And, of course, the audio is completely fucked. He can't get this right.
Go ahead, please, podcast Karen. Continue.
You know, like when you wake up next to that partner or you get a tattoo?
Like normal human being things, you know.
Tom has never done either of those things. He's never woken up with a girl in his bed.
Self-project much there, podcast Karen? I've woken up with some women in my bed.
I think he took that one to heart. I'm like, you never woke up with a woman in his bed. It's like, oh, what is that projection? I wake up with my wife every morning, Tom. What do you mean? But Tom goes, I've had a woman in my bed once. What do you mean by that? How dare you? So Tom is trying to find this joke that we analyzed that we got wrong. He's going to prove that to us.
Oh, awesome.
But he's got the wrong timestamp, of course.
Oh.
It's like one of the oldest jokes in the book, I'll admit. But it was a throwaway line during this monologue. So actually, 1823 mark. Always started at the wrong place. I will. Well, this is in reference to this joke that I made on my show.
Okay, so this is the joke that we all loved, where he goes, "At this rate, at the end of 2025, the only thing you're going to hear," and he started speaking Chinese.
Oh, yeah.
We all were just like, "This is awesome! All right, Tom, hey, we're praising him for this this joke." But well, before that, he admits that the setup was not great.
So that was pretty much the joke I was telling. Which, is it a great joke? No. Would that joke kill on clubs? No, probably not. But it was perfect for the podcast, and that's what people like. That's what people like. What they are here on WAT. What they don't really understand about that. Like, none of these guys on the screen are comedians.
Correct.
Yeah.
Tom, you got that right. None of the people on the screen that you're looking at right now are comedians. Nailed it. Good call.
That's true.
So Tom is explaining that the joke that we were saying sucked. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. Before the Chinese joke, there's another joke that we were analyzing that sucked. And Tom's going, well, I mean, was it a good joke that's funny? No. Would it have worked in a club? No. But it's great for the podcast. I mean, I'll be the judge of that, sir. I think I know what works and what doesn't work on a podcast.
It's our job here.
Right. But
And what's the difference? A joke's a joke. It's either great or it's not.
Yes. But he this is his thing, though, is he goes, it's mediocre, which is what my show is supposed to be. Like, okay, we have to do better. Stop having a mediocre show is the whole point
that's the
of what
problem.
we talk about here on these podcasts. But Tom explains that he knows comedy a lot better than we do, obviously.
Like I said, I'm not the greatest comedian in the world. I'm, whatever. But like even in front of my own crowd, I know how to do this. Just like I know how to do well because I've just been doing this for so long.
I'd love to see some evidence of this. Love to see it.
And we'll go ahead and continue here.
Okay. So
Again, the wrong flex of saying I've been doing it so long. You should say you're brand new at it and you look a lot better.
he has been doing it a long time and he still sucks at it.
Yep.
And he has to throw in there, if I'm in front of my own crowd, whatever that means, I do all right. We've all seen you do stand-up, Tom. This is not up for debate. Yeah, it's not up for debate. No one's going, yeah, Tom, your stuff's pretty good. So now we bring up the fact that a lot of times when we watch these clips of Tom, people try to fix his jokes. And so I talk about how, Pat Oates will always come on here and explain how to structure the joke correctly. Tom did not like that.
I've seen and heard Pat Oates, and I guess some people like him. He's always sharing photos of him and performing in empty rooms. Little shot at Pat Oates
shots
there.
fired.
Yeah, fuck. Taking shots at Pat Oates over here, performing in empty rooms. Got him good. Do you see the energy that he has? He has no confidence. He has no energy.
And no conviction in what he's saying.
No, he's terrible at this. I love Tom by himself, by the way. This is great. I hope he keeps doing this every day.
Oh, yeah.
We'll cover it. This is fantastic.
It's better than his jokes, I'll tell you that.
Correct. This is fantastic. So Tom is trying to do something that I do pretty successfully. I make a living on it. And now he's going to call me out for my stand-up, something that I don't do. But he's going to explain that I'm not a good stand-up.
Again, self-projection. Look who's talking. This guy bombed at his own festival. Was it DabbleCon or something? He bombed at his own festival. He bombed at it in his own hometown. He did absolutely terrible. I saw the video of it. I think Chad Zumach played the video of it. So this guy should not be talking. So.
Oh, it's Chad Zumach, the guy who is very annoyed with us and wants to clown us every chance he gets. Didn't think it was good.
Sounds like he has an agenda.
I hosted a stand-up show the first night of DabbleCon 1. And all I did was set it up and then bring people up on stage and let them do the comedy because I am not a stand-up comedian. But according to Tom...
Well, apparently you weren't very funny at that.
According to Tom, I bombed at my own show in my own hometown. And who am I to judge his comedy? Well, like I said, we really enjoyed his Chinese joke. And this is him reacting to our reaction.
May finally be the year when the planet...
Oh, so right here, he's fixing the audio finally. So he gets up to fix it. Tom has mentioned before that he's a professional. He uses a green screen. He doesn't know how to use a green screen. You have to go into StreamYard and explain that you have a green screen, and then they'll key out all of the green. Instead, he's still letting the software guess at what they're supposed to be showing and not showing, so you can see that come through as it gets out of the way.
May finally be the year when the planet decides to say fuck it and burn itself out of existence.
It's also why there's that green hue around his head and shit.
Right.
Because he's not telling StreamYard he's using a green screen.
In fact, once the United States has been defeated in World War III, the final message that all of humanity will hear will be this. DQ Zai Xiao Wing, Er Wo Zai Ting Shishi Fei Hua.
I was not ready for that.
Oh,
He's just doing a Chinese guy.
Oh, I made Podcast Karen and his little group of friends laugh. Oh, I made them laugh. Oh, I feel so
Yeah, it might be the
special.
first time you made anybody laugh.
It is, yes. All right, so Tom's comeback here proves he does not understand comedy. He really doesn't have the understanding of comedy. He's going to explain to us why we're wrong here. This is great.
So before I go into this, before I play their analysis and play it, so the Chinese that I spoke on that episode is a rough translation of "the planet is dying and I'm listening to this bullshit." And I went ahead and explained that later on in the segment, and I went,
Oh, good. You explained your terrible joke. This is next level where it's like, no. You guys understand the punchline was in Chinese. Yeah. No one understands that. That's not how punchlines work. Like, no, but if you were bilingual and Mandarin was the other language, you would have thought that was pretty good. Okay. Sure. Let's see how much work he put into making sure that this joke worked for him.
went ahead and isolated that clip and played it on and I played that as another segment or as another video on my YouTube channel, and that's where it's located. And how I came up with that one was, or how I translated that was, I talked to a couple friends of mine who speak Chinese very fluently. One used to teach English to Chinese students in China. So I went ahead and asked her, hey, how do I translate this? And she went ahead and did it. And so I got the little sound thing from the Google Translate icon. When she sent it to me, I said, hey, is this how you said it? He said, yes. I absolutely went ahead and double-checked everything. So I do know what I am doing.
This didn't happen, did it, Tom?
These idiots and what they say here. So
that makes it way, way worse.
Way worse.
It proves he doesn't understand how comedy, like, if you are writing a joke that you have to research, talk to 3 friends about, go to Google Translate, make sure that you're pronouncing it right, it's not a joke for you. You shouldn't write that joke. It's not going to work in your arsenal. Fucking moron. And Tom sits there going, actually, what I did was I got the proper translation to this punchline, and you idiots didn't even realize. No. Tom, it sucked. The only thing that was funny about it is it sounded like you were clowning Chinese people with your Chinese accent, and that's what we all reacted to and thought was funny.
Correct.
That was great.
He also responded to us on YouTube in the comments. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, and someone called him out on that Chinese being absolute bullshit.
Oh, that's hilarious. So he said in the comments that was proper Chinese?
And Pat Oates was there too, by the way.
That's amazing. I didn't even know that. Yeah. So at this point,
there's no way he got the Chinese right. There's no way.
No, and if he did, it doesn't make it a good joke.
Exactly.
It's so stupid. He doesn't even understand how to put on a interesting or comedic podcast. He has no concept of it, which is the point that we make every time we do a Stop Myers segment, and we prove it. At this point, I am now in the chat. Who are these podcasts? I'm one of 9 people in the chat, and I'm being very polite. I'm just letting Tom know, like, no, that was a funny joke. We all enjoyed it. Good job, Tommy. And at this point, you can see he's getting flustered because he sees that I'm in the chat. And someone says that he should send me the link. Watch this. He's having such a hard time now.
No, Gina. I only have funny people on my show. Hey!
She wrote, send Carl the link. Look at him. He's like, uh-oh. He's watching.
Anytime
there we
now.
go.
Come on, Tom. You all right?
Where are we going here?
Yeah, where are we going here? What are we doing? Not so easy, huh?
That's good enough. That's what I want to do.
Holy shit, just say something.
Okay, so we are going to go back to watching this rather cringe analysis, and we're going to go ahead and listen to this
That
one.
just made my favorite Tom Myers show. Top of the list.
That's pretty good.
Chris.
He makes this look so much more difficult than it is.
I know.
The fact that Tom's going on to slap back at us and he's this flustered and disorganized and awful and unfunny, just like, Tom, this isn't working for you. This is not how to do it.
Just embrace it, man.
It's like a battle of the bands where you're like calling out Eddie Van Halen for a decade, and then you get up there and you're like the guitarist from Kevin.
We've roasted so many people on this show that have turned out to be friends of the show.
Correct.
As a result.
Yes, they get it.
We have a beautiful
They
relationship.
get it.
with
They're
them.
into it. Pat Oates being one of them, actually.
Yeah,
That's how,
right?
That's how that started. So now Tom acknowledges that we say, well, I guess Tom's never going to get on SNL, referring to Shane Gillis and the reason why he was
Correct.
fired from that job. Tom's going to respond to that.
That's in reference to Shane Gillis. Like Shane Gillis actually used a slur on a podcast, which I didn't do. I spoke a legit Chinese phrase.
So that makes it okay.
Yeah.
I did a joke and I translated the punchline into Chinese. So there's absolutely nothing racist about it. So in addition to not knowing who this top lobster guy is, he's just a fucking idiot. So
Not at it. It's Tom again.
Just own up to it. You ching chang chonged your way through a punchline.
Right.
It's fine.
It was great. We all enjoyed it. And Tom again, yeah, but he actually said something that was very offensive. And I didn't do that. I checked with a Chinese person and made sure. It's like, you're not understanding how life works at this point. If you're explaining this to us, you're lost. It's not going to happen for you, Tom. This is not a good place for you. You're not going to figure it out if that's what your comeback is. All right. So Earl Skakel was on this episode of Tom Myers vs. the Rest of the World that we were reviewing. Mm-hmm. And I played a clip where Tom asked this horrible question, like, hey, so what's going on? Like, that's how the first question. Yeah. And Earl didn't know what to do with that. And so I just played the clip to be like, there's comedian Earl Skakel, everyone, because he couldn't make anything fun with what Tom asked him. Do you know who Earl Skakel is?
okay. And then they talked a little bit about Earl. He was on the show. He did great. He had fun. So.
Did he?
Nope.
So Tom didn't want to play that. As soon as he gets to that part, he's like, all right, well, anyway, you don't have to watch any more of this. Earl Skakel actually messaged me after we played that clip. And he's just like, Carl, I was just answering the question I was asked. And I wrote him back. I said, no, I know he's a terrible host. So what do you think about stuff? A great question is what I wrote to Earl. And I said, I hope you realize my point was that you're a funny guy, but it's impossible to have any fun on Tom's show. And he wrote back, 100% doing Tom's podcast was like doing Hackamania. I knew what was going to happen, but I was curious. Keep up the great content. I'm obsessed with the Dabbleverse from afar. So that's cool that Earl's checking this out and watching this stuff and agreed with me because I saw him at Hackamania. It was a rough go for him doing stand-up at that show. It was not conducive to his stand-up set. So then, because he sees that I'm in the chat, and by the way, I did get blocked right away. I was being very polite, but I got blocked right away. And so Tom decides to pivot and watch some Steel Toe.
Oh.
All right. Now, I know for a fact, because I do this every Friday, that clowning Steel Toe is very easy to do. There's a lot to make fun of there. Tom cannot figure it out.
Let's so Joy Reid, this was just absolutely terrible. This was awful news to hear this weekend.
Okay, we don't need to hear the rest of that. And
holy shit.
Tom, what are you good at?
What is he doing? He starts playing a clip. And he goes, all right, that's enough of that. Like, holy shit, dude. He doesn't want to hear people making fun of Joy Reid, apparently. Even Brandon right now is just like, oh, he's got nothing. Come on, man. So I have one more clip on here from Tom. And Tom can't figure out how to end his show. I'm just going to play this all in real time so you can see how bad Tom is at this.
Pull up a video of people doing really dumb stuff.
Yeah, you're playing it right now, actually.
And I'm really only doing this to try and get my watch hours up. So.
Oh, the truth comes out.
Yeah, just killing time.
Yep. These fucking morons, and I see all of them doing it. They want to get monetized. They got to get their watch hours up with YouTube. But rather than put on an entertaining show that gets people watching to get your watch hours up, they just stream with nothing to talk about.
Yeah, they out themselves as sucking.
Yeah. It's like, well...
I mean, he could just walk away from the camera. It's the same thing.
Right. But people have to watch to get watch hours, and he's not giving them any reason to watch. Look at him. I'm not pausing this. This is all just playing out. This is what his show is.
I mean, he's really good at sitting still.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about dead air. It's impressive for a guy who was on the radio. This would drive me
I want
crazy.
to pull this one video up.
Okay. He's got no energy, no confidence. Looks terrible.
Get confident, stupid.
Holy shit, Tom. What are you doing, man? Uh-huh. Come on. You got this.
I'm taking broadcasting in strange new directions.
So, not a fireworks-related video, but this one's kind of... Whoa, where did that one go?
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Tom, you've been finding this video for the last 35 seconds. You must have it by
I don't know
now.
if I can play that one, if people's channels are getting struck.
Okay.
Where are you saving videos?
Did they take that video down?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Okay, here's one.
Okay.
I love fail videos.
Me too.
Amazing. Not since he said there aren't any comedians on the screen has he said something so poignant. I love fail videos.
It's the funniest thing he's ever said.
Yes. He doesn't even realize how perfect that was, how meta
Jesus.
that is.
Thanks,
So, wow.
Who are these podcasts?